I'm not asking for castles in the sky. I'm asking for practical things the American people have been asking for a long time.
For over an hour and a half, the president was grilled on his first year in office. He highlighted his accomplishments, but with his top legislative priorities still stalled in Congress and his poll numbers lagging, the president was also forced to play defense and admit he is going to have to make some changes. President Biden conceding he has to break up his sweeping agenda if he hopes to get anything done.
Yes.
Do you need to be more realistic and scale down these priorities in order to get something passed?
No, I don't think so.
Is there anything that you are confident you can get signed into law before the midterm elections?
Yes, I'm confident we can get pieces, big chunks of the Build Back Better law signed into law.
The president eventually acknowledging he will have to settle for smaller victories and push for parts of his massive social spending bill.
I think we can break the package up, get as much as we can now, and come back and fight for the rest later.
And with members of his own party standing in the way of his push for voting rights, the president says that may have to be done piecemeal too.
I also think we will be able to get significant pieces of the legislation if we don't get it all now.
1 year ago, Biden came to office promising he could cut deals with Republicans. He insists he didn't overpromise, but says he was caught off guard.
I did not anticipate that there'd be such a stalwart effort to make sure that the most important thing was that President Biden didn't get anything done. Think about this. What are Republicans for? What are they for? Name me one thing they're for.
And as tensions with Russia rise, the president making news, predicting Vladimir Putin will invade Ukraine. But Biden raising questions over how the U.S. and European allies will respond.
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia.
The White House later clarifying that any movement of Russian forces across the Ukrainian border will be met with a swift, severe, and united response from the United States and our allies.
Democrats suffering a huge defeat, failing to pass voting rights legislation. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema not celebrated by her own party, but by Republicans leaving the chamber.
On this vote, the yeas are 52, the nays are 48.
The two Democrats siding with Republicans, Senator Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, refusing to change the Senate's 60-vote filibuster rule. The vote would have allowed the voting rights bill to be passed with a simple majority, 51 votes. Republicans likening the effort to secure the vote to federal overreach.
Once we head down that slippery slope, the legislative filibuster is gone.
Eliminating the filibuster would be the easy way out. It wasn't meant to be easy.